Hi, Acadiana. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker, back after a second power hit as we look at the radar here this evening. We're still seeing some big thunderstorms across parts of Acadiana and some severe weather continuing to go across the region as well. Let's go ahead and zoom in and look at the heavy rains that are moving across parts of St. Landry and St. Martin Parish. Hopefully we'll get a few more of folks that are back on after that other hit, just trying to make sure that we get another stream going here. But it looks like those heavy downpours are going to be continuing to move over St. Martin Parish here as we go through time. Meanwhile, the severe thunderstorm warning is going to be expiring at 10:15. Getting that the live stream back up here, we're going to continue to watch that as it moves off toward the east. Let's look ahead at St. Martin Parish, where it looks like we've got a new tornado warning that has been posted for that area there, and that tornado warning is going to be in effect until another 20 minutes here, about 10:15. That tornado radar indicated for Iberia and St. Martin Parish. Damage will be likely. It'll be near Catahoula and La Rose around 9:55. So right around now, that is going to be moving off toward the east pretty quickly here at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. We have that tornado warning, and when that tornado warning is issued, you need to make sure you're in the lowest floor of your home, and also make sure that you are away from any windows out there. As far as the tornado, make sure you try to cover yourself with some blankets or pillows. That will help you out with keeping you safe, just in case there's some debris flying around with that particular storm that comes through. But the tornado warning is right here. This is covering Parks and Catahoula and St. Martinville. That tornado warning is going to continue to be in effect till about 10:15 and will run off toward the east. Pea-sized hail is also possible with this particular storm. Let's look at the big picture with the thunderstorms moving off toward the east, and as they do, we're going to be seeing those winds getting pretty gusty over the basin areas and then cruising over toward Baton Rouge. Heavy downpours continue across parts of Vermilion Parish as well as into portions of Cameron Parish. Iberia, you're now starting to get into the heavy rains as well, and again watching those rains starting to move off toward the east through St. Landry and into parts of St. Martin Parish. You folks were hit so hard by the severe weather last week, so don't want to see that happen again, but it does appear that we're seeing those heavy downpours continue there across parts of St. Martin Parish. And there will be some flooding rains as well for those areas as a flood watch remains in effect for the entire Acadiana area. Now, the tornado watch that's been in effect is going to be expiring here in just a few minutes, but there's a possibility we could still see some tornado warnings that are out there before the evening is over. But it looks like the bulk of the activity is going to be cruising off toward the east and crossing St. Mary Parish. Hopefully we'll get this all out of here by the 11 o'clock hour, but there are a few other thunderstorms that are developing there along the Gulf Coast. That's something that we'll continue to watch through the evening hours if we do see those heavier rains coming in over the next several hours. Let's go ahead and kind of take a little closer view of the coastline here, and those bigger thunderstorms are coming running off the coast of Vermilion Parish and now moving across central parts of Iberia, and the heaviest rain and the worst of the weather appears to be up here right around Breaux Bridge and getting over to around Henderson. Unfortunately, that's an area that got hit very, very hard during the thunderstorms early this week, and the thunderstorms continue to move off toward the east. Right now, we have a tornado warning that still remains in effect for just a few more minutes, about 17 more minutes, over parts of Lafayette and into St. Martin Parish. And that particular warning still stays in effect right here. You can see that going over to around Catahoula, and Parks is also in this tornado warning. The tornado warning will be in effect for another 15 minutes or so. Big thunderstorms moving across Acadiana. Tornado watch in effect for just a couple of more minutes. Big thunderstorms still coming in down here along the Gulf Coast. These have remained offshore so far, but we'll watch to see if they pull northward and move back into Vermilion Parish. And it looks like yet a little bit more rain trying to develop back off toward the southwest as well. Also, I want to show you that there is a flood watch that's in effect for a good part of Acadiana, but the showers and thunderstorms have started to wind down a little bit over our northern sections, but we do have a flood warning that's in effect for a good part of Acadiana and even going into western Texas. This entire area here is now under a flash flood warning because we've seen anywhere between 3 and 5 inches of rain coming down and more coming down as we go through time. That is going to be an issue over the next couple of days as well, as some more rounds of rain is going to be possible, especially over those flooded areas. Let's again go back and look at that tornado warning that's still in effect here for about 15 more minutes. That is going to be for parts of St. Martin Parish, and areas of St. Martin Parish that we're watching right now are showing some hail possibly and maybe some rotating winds. You're starting to get a little bit far away from the radar to be able to get a definitive image, but you do have some winds going in different directions there north of Catahoula. So this is going to start to move out into the basin areas, and that tornado warning will remain in effect here for about another 15 minutes. Now the tornado watch has gone ahead and expired, and that watch is going to continue to stay. A new watch has been posted for areas farther toward the east. So at least over there toward Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we're still going to be seeing the possibility of severe weather heading in that direction. Those storms are going to continue to hold together and move off toward the east, and the atmosphere is still relatively unstable. So I think these thunderstorms are going to be able to maintain their strength or continue to push off toward the east, or maybe even strengthen somewhat as they get over toward the Baton Rouge and the New Orleans area. So the tornado warning remains in effect there across parts of St. Martin as well as into portions of Lafayette Parish, but it looks like Lafayette Parish is pretty much out of the way at this point. So there's a closer view of the storms as they move off toward the east. I-10 is going to be a problem there, or just south of I-10. So Butler Rose is also in the path of this storm. Let's move a little bit farther toward the south. It looks like we've got a severe thunderstorm warning that's now covering parts of Iberia Parish, and that is going to stay in effect until about 10:15. So 10:15 is when we're going to see that severe thunderstorm warning expiring. We've got plenty of other storms that are going to start to slide through Vermilion Parish and then into Iberia and St. Mary. I'm going to step back for just a couple of more minutes so I can get the new link up for folks that got cut off of the stream a little bit earlier. I'm going to get that up on social media. Give me 5 minutes and I'll come back. You're watching Acadiana Weather Today's live stream at severe weather coverage here in Acadiana. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. Hi, Acadiana meteorologist Dave Baker, just after 10 o'clock as we continue to watch severe weather moving across Acadiana, in particular over parts of Iberia and St. Martin parishes. We had an earlier tornado warning that was in effect for parts of St. Martin. That is now moving off toward the east, and it does appear that we're going to see that expire here in just a little bit, but that tornado warning does remain in effect for about 10 more minutes over parts of eastern St. Martin Parish, and that would include Catahoula as well as Butte-La Rose. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning that covers a large part of Lafayette as well as Iberia, St. Mary, and St. Martin parishes. This particular warning is going to remain in effect it looks like until 10:15, so just about 10 more minutes. This is going to be moving all the way across Iberia Parish, so New Iberia, St. Martinville, Franklin, Breaux Bridge, Jeanerette, Avery Island, Broussard, Baldwin, Cade, Butte-La Rose, Lauraville, Lydia, and it looks like Coteau and Lake Fossey Point is going to be seeing this thunderstorm. Sharonton and Pierre Part, which is over in the lower part of St. Martin Parish, will also be seeing this storm. Most of the heavy stuff in St. Martin Parish has now made its way over toward the basin area. So outside of the levee there, we're seeing that moving across into Iberville Parish. And then down into Iberia, that's where we're still seeing quite a bit of very heavy rain here across Iberia Parish, and that extends out into the Gulf of Mexico and Vermilion Bay as well. Heavy rains that are still coming down over parts of Vermilion Parish right now, those are going to be sliding off toward the east, and that's going to be affecting St. Mary Parish. And speaking of St. Mary, you are just now starting to get into the action over the western part of St. Mary Parish, getting over to around let's say over toward Jeanerette and Sharonton and Baldwin. That's where you're going to be starting to see some of those rains, and a lot of rain out in the offshore waters as well. We're keeping an eye on these other two rounds of thunderstorms, although I think they're going to go ahead and move along with everything else, and hopefully will stay offshore. And the bigger rains that we've been seeing are starting to exit areas around Lafayette, but we still have some very heavy rains up around Krotz Springs and Melville, and stretching into the eastern part of St. Martin Parish, and then pushing now into the panhandle there of Iberia Parish, eventually moving out into the Atchafalaya Basin, but still some moderate to heavy rain is going to be continuing. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some flood warnings going up for those parts of Acadiana as well, because it looks like flood warnings have generally gone up for all of the region as these thunderstorms have passed on through. So it appears that even Lafayette and northern parts of Vermilion Parish, and even getting into St. Martin and Iberia, are now under flood warning. So we'll have to add them to the crawl, and that flood warning is going to be in effect for southeastern St. Landry, northwestern Iberia, Lafayette Parish, St. Martin, St. Mary, Acadia, and Vermilion. And that's going to be until midnight tonight. So there will be some areas where there's going to be street flooding in those parts of Acadiana, especially there over Iberia and into Vermilion and St. Martin right now. Street flooding, of course, probably occurring here in Lafayette as well. But the rains do lighten up as you get farther toward the west. And fortunately, the regions that got the most amounts of rain do seem to have dropped off a bit when it comes to the heavy amounts of rain. So maybe they'll get some draining going on, but there's not very much room for the water to go anymore for much of southeast Texas and extreme western portions of Louisiana. So we'll go ahead and get back over here looking at the thunderstorms that are moving away from St. Martin Parish and as well as St. Landry. These are going to be crossing the Atchafalaya River, moving into Iberville and Point Capee parishes, but we're still going to be concerned with our southern sections down here into Iberia and St. Mary. You folks still got a little ways to go before the showers and thunderstorms are over, and these are going to begin continuing to push off toward the south and east. Let's go ahead and take a look at the loop of the radar, showing you how everything is progressing. And more of the worry, I think, over severe weather now for the Acadiana area. I think we're going to worry a little bit more about the possibility of some flooding rains. Those rains are going to be still occurring over parts of Cameron, Vermilion, and into Iberia and St. Mary, and we'll watch those other rounds of rain down there along the coast to see if they make their way into southern parts of Lafayette or maybe into St. Martin parishes as well. Heavy rains have continued and have put down several inches of rain across a large part of Acadiana. Some of the rainfall that we have seen has exceeded 7 inches of rain, and a lot of that has been over parts of central and northern parts of Acadiana, generally there across St. Landry, Evangeline, into Allen, and back over toward Beauregard and into southeastern Texas. But you can't really rule out the amounts of rain that we've been seeing there over parts of Calcasieu and down into Cameron and Jeff Davis parishes as well. And that's why we have flood warnings in place for those areas. Looking back at the radar in motion, you can see that the heavy amounts of rain are continuing to move along the coast, and that's going to be the case as this system continues to move off toward the east. We do have other thunderstorms that are going to be popping up here across parts of Texas, and hopefully those are not going to make their way into Acadiana anytime soon. Meanwhile, those rainfall rates, as far as what we've been looking at, have been quite extreme. 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain has been coming down over a large part of Acadiana, and that's why we've got those flood warnings. The areas that are in darker blue are kind of in that 5-inch range, and then there over parts of Vernon Parish and Beauregard Parish, right about in this area here, that's an indication of a radar estimate of anywhere between 6 and 7 inches of rain that has fallen. So a significant amount of rain coming down over parts of Acadiana today, and that on top of the severe weather threat that does seem to be dropping off. We do have the tornado watch that expired at 10 o'clock, and it looks like all of our tornado warnings are going to go ahead and expire here at 10:15. Looks like the one that was over parts of St. Martin Parish has now gone ahead and expired. We do not have a severe thunderstorm warning for St. Mary Parish yet, so it looks like basically we're talking about all of our severe thunderstorm warnings are about ready to drop off in the Acadiana area. The one that's over parts of Iberia and St. Martin is going to be dropping off here in the next 2 minutes. So it looks like our severe weather threat seems to be going back down, which would be great news, and I'd like to see those rain chances dropping off as well. Let's go ahead and get back into some of what we've been looking at across Acadiana as far as flooding is concerned. We do have a flood watch that's in effect for Acadiana, and that is going to be in effect all the way through tomorrow afternoon. We've seen those heavy rains, and I showed you some of those rainfall totals out there too. And we've been seeing the heavy amounts of rain continuing across Acadiana, and that's going to be the case for the next couple of days. We're going to have to be kind of concerned about the showers and thunderstorms out there that could be bringing some more heavy rain, and that could be a big issue when it comes to flooding once again. Street flooding is going to be a possibility, as it always is here in South Louisiana, and those showers and thunderstorms are going to be on and off all the way through the weekend, so additional flooding could be possible for those areas. Meanwhile, we're still looking at the possibility of the heavy rain moving across Lafayette Parish too, coming in later on. Again, looking at the radar, the big radar, we do have the heavy rains that are coming on in and starting to slide back away from the region, and I think we're going to be in much better shape here probably over the next hour or so. But Iberia and into St. Mary parishes, you folks are still getting quite a bit of that heavy rain out there. And that's going to be coming down. So street flooding will be occurring across parts of New Iberia, getting over to around Jeanerette. Franklin, you're now starting to get into the heavy rain as well as Sharonton and Baldwin. And then points offshore as you get down towards Sycamore Point, we've got some very heavy rain that's coming down there. Again, I want to thank a lot of our new subscribers here on Acadiana Weather today. Also want to thank Developing Lafayette for putting the word out. I had a chance to visit with Ben last week on his podcast and really had a great time there. So a lot of folks did find out about our channel here with Developing Lafayette. So I want to thank them, and also thank you for all of the new subscribers that we've had to the channel. And we had a pretty good run through on Monday with the big thunderstorms coming through. And then of course, in my neck of the woods, we had a number of trees that came down in the neighborhood. So the stream got cut off for good because the power lines went down in the neighborhood. But this time around, we just had one internet outage and then one short power outage, so we managed to get through pretty easily on the stream this time around. And I really appreciate those of you who got cut off from the stream earlier for jumping back on and continuing with the severe weather coverage, even though it is getting pretty late at night. The thunderstorms will continue to push off toward the east. Hopefully we won't get any more severe thunderstorm warnings. And if we don't get any more severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll probably pull back for just a little while and let the thunderstorms roll through, and we'll probably keep the loop on the radar for another hour or so and see where things go. But hopefully we won't get any new development from these thunderstorms that are back here off toward the southwest. So for right now at 10:16, I'm going to back off for just a bit and give the voice a little bit of a break. I'll keep the loop on with the different weather radars and satellite images and other items that may be of interest, including the 3-day forecast. I'll get that running here in just a little bit, and we'll keep up on social media as well. Hopefully we won't have to break in anymore with any more severe weather warnings, but for right now it looks like those severe weather warnings, well, let me just go ahead and step back here just for a second, because we do have another severe thunderstorm warning, and this one's going to be for Iberia, Lafayette, St. Martin, and St. Mary Parish until 11:15. So that's going to basically complete all of the Acadiana region with the different severe thunderstorms that we have seen. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be up until 11:15. So let me go ahead and get that graphic put together here real quick and show you where the areas are that are in this particular warning. And it does include a pretty large part of Acadiana, the eastern part. And to tell you the truth, not surprised that this particular severe thunderstorm warning came out. Southern St. Martin, lower parts of St. Martin, all of Iberia, and all of St. Mary parishes will be under this severe thunderstorm warning. And this is going to be in effect until 11:15. So big thunderstorms continuing to move off toward the east and producing some hail as well as some winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour. So definitely some big thunderstorms coming through there. And that's a look at the thunderstorm activity right there coming in across parts of St. Mary Parish. And most of the heavy stuff is staying over Vermilion Bay and Marsh Island, but a lot of this is going to be shoving its way over toward lower St. Martin and into St. Mary Parish. So a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for parts of Iberia, St. Mary, and lower St. Martin and southern St. Martin Parish until 11:15. I'm going to get this up on social media and pop this up on the crawl as well. Give me a couple of minutes and I'll be right back. You're watching Acadiana Weather Today on YouTube. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker. Meteorologist Dave Baker back with you here on this Thursday evening. It's 10:22 and we still have a severe thunderstorm warning. That's for parts of St. Mary, St. Martin, and Iberia parishes. There is a look at that severe thunderstorm warning, and it's going to be in effect until 11:15. A big round of thunderstorms that has been moving across Louisiana is continuing to push off toward the southeast. Heavy rains continue across eastern parts of Vermilion Parish, southern portions of Iberia, and now lower St. Martin and St. Mary starting to get into the action. Some of the bigger thunderstorms that prompted severe thunderstorm warnings over St. Martin and St. Landry have now moved over into Iberville as well as Point Capee parishes. We've got a pretty good cell that's out here over the Gulf of Mexico south of Cameron Parish, and another couple of rounds of thunderstorms back here to the west. Hopefully we're not going to see a whole lot more developing out here, but if it does, it's probably just going to continue to move off toward the east-northeast and stay in the southern sections of Acadiana. So let's get back to this severe thunderstorm warning. The main threat with this particular storm is going to be large hail as well as winds up to 70 miles per hour. New Iberia, Morgan City, Catahoula, Breaux Bridge, Franklin, St. Martinville, Patterson, Jeanerette, Berwick, Burns Point, Bayou Vista, Sycamore Point, Stevensville, Avery Island, Baldwin, Delcombe, Lauraville. They're all in the path of this storm. And some areas the thunderstorm has already passed on by. But you're going to see quite a bit of lightning out there for a number of hours or so. So the thunderstorms will continue to push off toward the south and east. I do want to remind everyone that there is a flood watch that is currently in place. And we have seen some very heavy rains across most of the region. And those rains have been in the 3 to 6 inch range over parts of Rapides, Vernon, and Beauregard parishes, and a good 3 to 4 inch rains over Allen, Evangeline, and St. Landry parishes. So flooding, if it's not already ongoing, will be going very soon. And if we get more rounds of rain, that's going to be an even bigger problem. A high risk of flooding for parts of southeastern Texas, where they've seen several inches of rain over the past several weeks. And really a lot of rain just in the past maybe 7 or 8 days. So any rain that comes down isn't able to be absorbed by the ground, and it's immediately becoming runoff, and that's why they're having flooding problems so quickly. Even with just a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain, you can have some flooding after you've seen several inches of rain already. Now, fortunately, where the heavy rains are coming down right now over Iberia and St. Mary, you folks have not seen the huge amounts of rain that the northern parts of Acadiana have seen. Therefore, you're not in this flood watch, so you're able to take on a lot of this rain. Of course, it's not fun, and there probably will be some street flooding out there, but for the most part, it appears that you're going to be kind of skirting by any of the major flooding problems because you'll be able to handle a little bit more rain on this one. But that severe thunderstorm warning does continue over parts of Iberia, St. Mary, and St. Martin, and this is going to be until 11:15. Showers and thunderstorms will continue to push off toward the southeast, and as they do, we should see most of the action kind of tapering off, but there are some other thunderstorms that are starting to develop a little bit farther toward the west, and we may be dealing with more of that as we get into tomorrow. But there's a few showers and thunderstorms that are there right up along the upper Texas coast, but there are some more showers and thunderstorms that are a little bit farther off toward the west that may impact us as we head into Friday and another round perhaps on Saturday. So the heavier rains are continuing to move off toward the east, and the bigger rains that are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now are starting to move across portions of St. Mary Parish. Morgan City, you still have been in the clear, as well as over toward Patterson, but Franklin, you're now starting to get into the rain, and it looks like Patterson and Berwick It's right on your doorstep, so you're going to be seeing this rain coming in here in a short period of time. The showers and thunderstorms have been quite heavy all across Acadiana over the last several hours, and this last round is going to go ahead and continue to move on toward the southeast. Again, the primary threat is going to be heavy rain, gusty winds, and the possibility of some small hail. So one real quick look here at the severe thunderstorm warning until 11:15. I'm going to step away for a little while. We'll watch this. Hopefully this will be the last of the severe thunderstorm warnings in the Acadiana area on this Thursday night. If I don't come back here with my voice, make sure you're up tomorrow morning and catch Acadiana Weather Today. It's usually posted here on YouTube sometime between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. And it's just a little 3 or 4 minute chat about the upcoming weather conditions and how they're going to affect your day. That's Acadiana Weather Today, weekday mornings, usually sometime between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. If you subscribe to Acadiana Weather Today and like these videos and also subscribe to the notifications, you'll know when we go into severe weather coverage, and you'll also know when the daily video is posted. That way you can go right to it each and every morning. So I'm going to step back for just a little while. Big severe thunderstorm warning is still over that part of Acadiana. There's a real quick look at what we've got over the entire region. And as far as what we've got right now, there's a look at what the bigger thunderstorm is happening there over St. Martin Parish. We'll step back for right now and let the loop go for a little while. And if there's any other warnings, we'll jump back in. I'm meteorologist Dave Baker, and this is Acadiana Weather Today.